knitters, it's Maggie. I'm back with another yarn review for my blog Knitting in the Park. Today we are talking about a yarn from Caron, and if you've been around or knitted any of my patterns previously, you know or might know that I really like Caron yarns. I use their acrylic Caron Simply Soft in a number of different colors, some tweeds for a lot of hats, especially if they're hats I'm going to gift or donate. Because yes, I understand that natural fibers have their space and are beautiful, but the acrylic yarns really make the people to whom I'm gifting able to love and wear and use and clean the things that I make them. I don't want the things that I spend my time making to sit on a shelf somewhere. I want them to be used and I want them to be loved, and you need to be able to clean them to do that. So I started off with this beautiful cake. I keep wanting to say skein, so if I say skein, I mean cake in this video. So these are their latte cakes. They come in a number of different colorways. I will look up the name of this one specifically because it is skipping my mind. I think it's like something plum, but I really like a lot of the different color options they have as far as the skeins, and that's really what drew us to them in Michael's. We were walking through and I was getting yarn for another project, and my daughter saw these. She's young and she loved the colors and the purple shades, and then she picked it up and she's, woo, this is soft. So of course, you know, we had to try it. So I knit her this quick hat. This is my Emily pattern, and I've been using this hat. It's fun and easy to knit. It's, once you get past the brim, it's a 7-row repeat. So it's a simple cable and then a bit of a decorative striping, vertical striping in between the cables. Super soft. She loves to wear it. I have it on my hat stand so you can see a little bit more, or a little bit better in 3-dimension here. Super soft, very nice colors, but not great stitch definition. So it's hard, especially as you're farther away, to see the cable. This is just a simple twisted cable right here, and then this is a detail using knit belows, kind of like a ladder, if you will. So it's a very nice yarn. It has very great colors, not great stitch definition. And I will say that if you are newer to knitting, so she'll wear this no problem because of the softy silken feel of the yarn. But I'm a little bit bummed that you can't see some of the architectural stitches and details a little bit more. So as you work this yarn, it will slip on your fingers, so it makes the harder to keep your tension as you're knitting. And then also, if you're newer to knitting, it may, or it tends to slip around on your needles a little bit more. So I was using a pair of nickel circular needles and had quite a few times where my stitches slipped off. Not a big problem. It's textured enough that they don't immediately unravel. You've got some time and some play to pick them up. It is a lot harder to see if some of your stitches do start to come undone. So take that into consideration for when you are selecting this yarn. I really think it would lean well towards simple stitches in things like scarves, shawls, and sweaters, more so than hats. So like think of a raglan sweater, especially for kids who, you know, something itchier might not work well for them. I really want to make almost like a redo of my cozy cabin triangular shawl in this, because that is a bulky weight yarn and this is a worsted weight yarn, and it's definitely a worsted weight yarn. You know, I hate when I get a number 4 or a yarn that they claim is number 4, and then you get this really thin yarn. So I'm wrapping it on my finger here so you can kind of see it's actually comparable to a lot of the other number 4 yarns that I recommend in my patterns. So this is a whopping, so it's almost 9 ounces, but it is 530 yards per cake. Now that's about double the yardage for your average skein of yarn. I would say it's double. I looked it up to compare to like a Lion brand Heartland skein of yarn, and it is definitely double. So you get quite a bit of yarn for your individual cake. And I think that even makes it better for the bigger projects like shawls and sweaters. So I'm going to try this out next in a triangular shawl. The only thing that I'm not happy with, and I think it's kind of funny here, because you've got the picture on their cake, and then you've got the comparison here. So I'm not sure if they've run something over to get rid of some of the fuzz on their pattern for this photo, but it definitely is a lot fuzzier than it comes across in this photo. So you've been, I don't want to say warned, because it's a nice yarn. I would use it again. I think I would just keep it for like the more basic hats, the more basic stitches. This even has a cable and a twisted knit stitch, so very similar. More of like a horseshoe cable maybe in the picture, but again, bigger cables, chunkier cables, or simpler stitches, and this yarn will be amazing. So I would recommend it, but I would recommend it for certain projects over others. So don't waste your time choosing this yarn for a very complicated set of like seed stitch, moss stitch, those kinds of things. It did do well with the ribbing. I do a half twisted 1x1 rib for this, and I think I could have done the whole hat like that and it would have been just fine. So yeah, it's a nice yarn. It's a soft yarn. I would shy away from baby blankets for this yarn. My son loved to pick at any kind of fuzz, so I would always make sure to keep an eye on his baby blankets and use like anti-pilling yarn. I did have a niece who would like bite and pull fuzz off of her baby blanket, so something like this is very inviting to children and might get you into trouble there. Just the random things you think of when you work in pattern creation and in yarn reviews. So there you have it. Latte cakes from Caron yarn at Yarnspirations, or by Yarnspirations. I like it. And I think I'm going to play around with it a little bit more.